Hi folks, this is Jake. Hope you're okay today. We're looking at evidence for the historical Jesus, and we're looking at Flavius Josephus, again born 33 AD to 66 AD. In Antiquities 1833, we read, "About this time there lived Jesus, a wise man, and we indeed ought to call him a man, for he was one who wrought surprising feats, and was a teacher of such people as accept the truth. He was the Messiah. When Pilate condemned him to be crucified, those who had in the first place come to love him did not give up their affection for him. On the third day he appeared to them, restored to life, for the prophets of God had prophesied these and countless other marvelous things about him." This is really good evidence for the existence of Jesus. Now, there was some debates of whether in the ancient world did Josephus become a Christian. There were also some debates and debate even today, has this passage been interpolated? Because in the 4th century it's possible that a monk slipped in one or two words. I don't think that a monk would put in all that, and I think most scholars would agree that the core of this Josephus passage is faithful to Josephus. I noticed something that very interesting, that the first person, I can't remember his name, but one of the first scholars to question this was a faithful, godly scholar. He wasn't a skeptic. Somewhere in the 16th century, I think it is. But there has been a lot of debate out of it because it's very politically motivated. The skeptics who want to destroy Christianity and who want to push Christianity out of the public sphere jump on this passage, and they love to say, oh, it's been interpolated. So I would say there's historical revisionism going on in modern scholarship with some modern scholars. I don't think that the core of that passage has been interpolated, and I think it's true that Josephus is saying that Jesus died and died under Pontius Pilate and was worshipped by his apostles. Now, the general argument at the last bit there is, well, he wouldn't write that because he's a Jew. But first of all, he mentions Jesus again in context of the Lord's brother, and secondly, he doesn't have anything negative to say towards Jesus, which is interesting because he has quite a bit to say about other religious leaders. It seems to me that there was a wide accepted belief that Jesus Christ was actually a good person and was wrongfully arrested and wrongfully crucified, and I think Josephus sympathizes with that and believes that what many popular people believed about Jesus. That's what I think. Some might argue against it and say, well, he's a Pharisee and he wouldn't believe in Jesus or whatever. But he says here, on the third day he appeared to them, restored to life. For the prophets of God have prophesied these things, and countless other marvelous things about him. You look at the grammar there. When Pilate condemned him to be crucified, those who had in the first place come to love him did not give up their affection for him. On the third day he appeared to them, restored to life, for the prophets of God had prophesied these and countless other marvelous things about him. Well, I'll let you make up your own mind. I think that the passage is faithful, Josephus. I've read the Antiquities, and there's no reason why that is not faithful. In fact, there were debates in the time of Origen asking the question whether Josephus had become a Christian. So it's obvious that this passage was already early, before the 4th century, when this interpolation theories come into play. Before the 4th century, Origen was already talking about, was Josephus a Christian or not? Obviously, because of this passage, which means this passage from a early is actually has an earlier manuscript attestation in a way, even though we haven't got manuscripts with this in prior to 400 AD. It's obvious that it was there. The scholarship, the Arabic manuscript that a lot of scholars go on about, and there's other manuscripts that they go on about, they're very weak arguments. I think the Origen passage where he talks about Josephus that he wasn't converted implies that there was a wide held belief that he was converted. Where would people get that idea from? It means that this passage is genuine. It is genuine, and it's amazing factual historical information about Jesus. Now the skeptics will jump on all these texts that I've given you, and they'll try to debunk them. I would go to J.P. Holding Tectonic's website, where he does a magnificent job in defending these historical pieces of information. Alright? Thank you for listening, and take care.